Hello, everyone. My name is Shandaba, and welcome to my podcast, Going the Extra Mile. As a student athlete, I'm curious to what other student athletes do outside of school and sports. This podcast serves as a platform for student athletes to speak about their lives and a space for individuals to spread their knowledge. Hope you enjoy. Welcome to the third episode of Going the Extra Mile. Today we are here with Bella and Felix, two seniors at Amherst College. I'm very close with them. We spent a lot of time together at CACSAC. Last episode, you met Arenze, who's also a part of CACSAC. But Felix and Bella are part of our senior e-board, and I thought it'd be a great idea to interview them and ask them questions about CACSAC so you guys can get to know a little bit more about it. But yeah, to start off, I guess we want to get to know you two. So whoever wants to start, I guess just tell us like where you're from, what year, what your involvement with CACSAC, if you play sports, and like any extracurricular activities you guys do at Amherst.
Yeah, sure. I guess I can go just because we both play on the men's soccer team. I'm Felix Wu. I'm a rising senior at Amherst College. I grew up and I'm currently still living right outside of Washington, D.C. in Bethesda, Maryland. As you mentioned, I'm going to be the VP of CACSAC next year. But at Amherst, I'm also a double econ and bio major, and I'll be writing a econ thesis, crossing my fingers. Hopefully that all goes well.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm Bella Ito. I'm also a senior. I will be the president of CACSAC for this coming year. I'm from Boxford, Massachusetts, which is just a little bit north of Boston. I play on the women's lacrosse team. I used to play on the field hockey team, but I decided to study abroad last fall, so I didn't play. What else is there? I'm a double major in Black Studies and Law, Jurisprudence, and Social Thought. And yeah, I'll also be writing a thesis this fall in LJST, so it's exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, well, good luck to both of you writing theses, and I know that's really tough. I'm not sure if I'll do one, but I'll keep it in my thoughts. What have you guys been up to this summer?
I guess I can go again. I'm sorry about
No,
well, for the first part of the summer, I had nothing to do, so I came back from abroad early. But for the last couple of weeks, I've been working as a summer associate at EY Parthenon, which is a strategy consulting firm based in the Boston office, but obviously working from home.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of the summer, I was continuing some research for a colloquium that I was a part of this spring. And my specific project, I'm working with a partner, but we're focusing on Haitian bilingual programs and Chinese bilingual programs in Cambridge, like in the 20th to 21st century, and just like how those programs developed or didn't develop, and the effects that that's had on public education in Cambridge and the Boston area today, which is really exciting. It's a really cool topic, but I also am going to have the opportunity to continue that research in the fall, and hopefully submit to a conference, fingers crossed. So I was doing that for the first couple of weeks, and now I am working on the re-election campaign for Senator Ed Markey. He's one of the Massachusetts senators. So been putting in the hours for that, and then just doing some reading for my thesis and stuff, and trying to figure out my life for the next couple of years.
Yeah, sure. Have you guys made your decisions for the fall? I know I'm gonna go and do remote classes. So yeah, I'll be staying home. Yeah, what about you guys? Have you made decisions yet?
Yeah, go ahead, Felix.
So my decision is, as of now, I'm gonna plan on enrolling, and I'll plan on being on campus in the fall. It's not my first choice decision, and I think it depends on how my internship goes and whether or not I get a job offer. As you both know, the economy isn't doing super well, so like being able to secure employment after like I graduated is probably my primary concern. But if everything goes well and they're flexible with the start dates, I'll look to take this fall semester off and then enroll in the spring and then next fall. So graduate, I guess, 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah, as of now, I'm enrolling, but I'll be doing school remotely, just because it doesn't really make sense for me to be on campus. I am only taking one regular class, and it's completely remote. And then my two other like classes are my thesis and my special topics, which I will only meet with each professor once a week. And most of the time that'll also probably be remote. And just, I don't need like any of the resources on campus in order to do those projects. But yeah, I'm not deferring because I just like, hopefully we'll have a season in the spring, kind of hitching our bets on that. But but yeah, so that's kind of my plan for now. I'll be either home or, potentially living with some friends, but not sure yet.
Yeah, so Bella, what's the plan for CACSAC in the fall then?
Big plans. Yeah, we are definitely like, going full steam ahead. We just had a meeting a couple of days ago, and it was so much. I mean, I had so much fun. I don't know about everyone else, but I was like giddy because we're talking about all of these projects. We're like making all of this headway on these things. And, I mean, just given the like time in this country, like the climate that we're living in, it's like terrifying in so many ways, but it also feels like there's so much potential for forward movement. And I really feel that way about CACSAC right now too. It really feels like a lot of the things we're talking about, we have the potential to really actually make happen in this coming year. So, we have like a couple of projects that we're lining up now, figuring out like how we want to be in conversation with the athletic department, how we want to be in conversation with the, NESCAC as a whole. That's something that we've been starting to focus on more this summer. And also recently thinking about how we want to be in conversation with people outside of just athletics, like bigger picture ideas at the college, and thinking about these like structural barriers that can stand in the way of making student athletes of color experiences as as like meaningful and supportive and great as they can be. So yeah, we'll figure out how to do that remotely, but we've been doing a good job this summer checking in and just really staying on each other to get these things done. So I feel excited about it.
Yeah, I like 100% second that. And like, I don't have much to add. Bella gave a great synopsis, but I just wanted to say like, this is a huge credit to the work and the effort that like members of the CACSAC community, like members of the e-board, and especially Bella have put in this summer, like on top of so many other things that they're doing. It's wonderful to see.
Yeah, thank you so much from both of you. But I just realized before I ask that question, I need to ask, what is CACSAC? You have to explain to everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, Felix, do you want to go ahead on that?
Well, the acronym is Council of Amherst College Student Athletes of Color. And I think in many ways it's like an organization that's undergoing some like pretty fundamental transformation now. Its original sort of purpose was to serve as a space of just like solace and community for student athletes of color. Like, as all of us know, athletics at Amherst and within the wider NESCAC in general is a very white place. And so it can be incredibly isolating and oftentimes violent for student athletes of color to inhabit and move through these spaces. So CACSAC, I guess, originally was meant to be a place where like, you can see other people like yourselves and like hear about experiences that reflect your own and that you can resonate with.
Yeah. Awesome. So you all know about the whole Black Lives Matter movement right now. I wanted to get your perspective on what you guys think of it right now. You know, it's kind of started and it's still kind of going. You know, people haven't forgotten about it. Today I was just watching a soccer game. My favorite team, Arsenal, is playing Man City, and they still have the Black Lives
Good
Matter
win.
patches. It was a good win, and they kneel before the game starts. And I think it's awesome that this thing is continued, and a lot of people are still acknowledging it. What do you guys think about the movement, and you know, what do you kind of hope to see going forward?
Yeah, you know, I think as with any feeling of like, you know, social progress in this country, there is hope and excitement, and there's also fear and wariness. And I think I definitely feel a lot of that. You know, like I was saying about CACSAC, like we are so excited like about all of these things that we have the potential to do and seem to really be making headway on. And I think that, you know, I feel the same way about what's happening in this country, you know, and just seeing like these people like lifted up, and especially I know for me, like seeing a lot of it's spurring like people to get out there and vote and really like bring elected officials into office, that will hopefully be huge change makers. In that way, like it inspires me. And I'm also, you know, like I'm also like protective of like my own feelings of hope.
So I think you're frozen.
I think she just froze.
I'll shoot her a text.
Yeah.
Give me a sec, and then I'll say something.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, while we wait for Bella to regain connection, hop back on. First of all, like we unequivocally support the Black Lives Matter movement. I think one thing, like I think it's important for me to say is like my position in this movement is as an like accomplices as an ally. So I've been trying to sort of interrogate that within myself. That's also something we're trying to interrogate within like CACSAC, knowing that it's a community of athletes of color, but there's a huge breadth of experience in that. As like non-Black athletes of color, we need to be there and support, and sort of like like recognize where our positioning is, and be cognizant of that. And then also like within like the water movement, just thinking about sort of like performance and how that might color the things like, for example, the college might do, and trying to like work to sort of process and think through those sort of things, and obviously support the movement. Yeah. If we want to go back to Bella.
Yeah, you kind of froze a little bit.
I know. I realized like halfway through I was speaking, I was like, oh no, they cannot hear me. Yeah, I mean, I just caught the tail end of what Felix said there. But I was just saying that, you know, I have a lot of hope. But I also, you know, feel apprehensive at times. And I think because of the performative nature of a lot of like the activism that's happening right now, you know, and like the thing that I keep saying is I'm like, I don't care, like, if you post on Instagram or, you know, do like whatever on social media, like that doesn't mean anything to me. It's really like the people who are actually out here, like doing the work. And, you know, that doesn't always mean like going to protests or like organizing or stuff like that, because, you know, we are living in a pandemic and people have like limitations, especially now. But it's like doing the stuff like reading on your own and like engaging with like serious like media and literature, and then not only just like doing that, but then having conversations like a non-Black friend, is if they like read something and then are like, you know, either like we had talked about it before, like I suggested it or whatever, and they're like, you know, I read this and like this is what I thought, I'm curious what your thoughts are on it, and like engaging in serious dialogue like that. And that is happening in some places and with some people. So like that makes me hopeful. But I definitely am like, you know, still wary as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, thank you for your input on that matter. I just wanted to ask one last thing of both of you. So for maybe the younger student athletes who are, taking on college, what advice would you give them going into the fall?
That's hard.
Into this fall.
Yeah,
Yeah, this fall. Yeah, what advice would you give them? I know because you guys haven't even experienced it yet, but you're seniors and you kind of like know how the college process works, and you've had a bit of an experience with online classes in the spring. So, like from kind of like that, what would you say to your younger student athletes?
I think my advice, I think this is important in general, but especially now, is to be intentional about finding community and finding like friends and like a space that you can really thrive and like supports you. Obviously, very much easier said than done. Also, considering the circumstances, like there's not going to be a ton of like face-to-face interaction. Like even if you are on campus, I know like specific to Amherst they are, but across the country there might be some student athletes coming in who don't have that experience. But yeah, be intentional about finding community.
Yeah, and I think kind of going off of that, like leaning into opportunities to have community. And just by that I mean that, sometimes it can be easy to just like hang out with your teammates, or just hang out with like the immediate group of people that you're spending the most time with. And I think it might be more difficult now than ever to really like go to that first CACSAC meeting where you don't know anyone and you're I mean it will be done on Zoom.
Yeah.
But like it's even harder now to do things like that. And so I would say like really kind of lean into that and lean into like the possibilities of having communities like that, kind of like Felix was saying. But I think also just I wish that more often people had said to me like trust your gut and like speak up about something if like it doesn't feel right to you. Like I was having a conversation, or my team was having a conversation like over a month ago now. And, we were kind of talking about just like the performative nature of like people's activism right now and all this. And I was like, guys, like my predominantly white team, I was like, it's great to see people posting things on Instagram and like sending texts and whatever. But, I've been kneeling before every single game for the past 3 years, and not once has anyone on our team ever gotten down and kneeled with me. And, I never said anything about it because I was like, oh, like, am I, I mean, anyone that knows me knows that I don't have an issue like stirring the pot or, having difficult conversations. But even not for me, because I felt so isolated, I was like, this isn't something I'm going to bring up. And I finally just did, because I was like, like to hell with respectability politics, like let's just have the conversation. And that's definitely something that comes with age too, and like comfort and everything. But I wish that more people had said to me earlier, like just like trust the fact that you are completely valid in feeling that way. You're completely valid in feeling like you're not being completely supported, and don't be afraid to speak on that. Not only because you deserve to be heard, but also you have the support of CACSAC at least at all times. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, awesome. Well, that's all I have for you two. Thank you so much for joining me. It was great to get to know a little more about CACSAC and kind of hear about what you guys have been doing this summer and your plans for the fall. Yeah, thanks for joining. I wish you two the best going into the fall and for the rest of the summer. I miss you, and yeah, that's it.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
thanks for having us.
Miss you, man.
I miss you too.
Yeah, I miss you.
All right. We'll see you guys.
Bye.
Bye, Sean. See you, Bella.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this episode of Going the Extra Mile. I hope you were able to take away a thought or two from the conversation. For future episodes, subscribe to my channel and make sure your notifications are on. If you enjoy this episode, pop a like. All the best.